Good day, everybody. Just leaving the park, got the dogs in tow. It is a hot Sunday afternoon. My car thermometer says it's 26 out, but it's not 26 out. It's more like 30 out. Very hot. Anyway, wanted to talk about something that I saw on Facebook the other day regarding AI in gaming. So in preparation to JohnCon, in aims to promote it, I've been joining a number of local D&D related and TTRPG related groups. And one of the ones I joined was Dungeons and Dragons GTA, Greater Toronto Area. And there was a post that was at the top, and it was, I guess the administrator was answering a request regarding the use of AI on the Facebook group, because there were no rules specifically regarding AI. It was all your standard, be respectful, no hateful conduct, blah, 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 that kind of stuff. Keep the discussion about games, yada, yada, yada. But I guess somebody had been bugging him about people using AI in things that they post. And I'm like, it's a Facebook group. So this guy's response was basically, we've made no decision regarding the use of AI. The only thing I asked is if you're going to be posting something in which you use AI, just, put a disclaimer or make a note that say, hey, this content contains AI. And I'm like, this is a Facebook group for hobbyists, for crying out loud. Now, I can understand, the desire for people to disclose the use of AI in something that was going to be, sold or promoted for the purposes of making money. I get that, right? So if you're putting an RPG book together, or module, or adventure or supplement together, and you're using AI art, first off, most people can sniff that shit out pretty easily. But even those who can't sniff it out, including that is up to the discretion of the creator. And like I said, the fact is that most people, when they see AI art, they're going to go, that's AI art. You can tell that's AI art because X, Y, and Z. And I don't know what it is. It's kind of like, the whole thing. I might not necessarily be able to define what pornography is, but I know it when I see it. Right? So same sort of thing goes to the eye. We kind of have an innate sense of what has been made by the human hand and what was made by a large language model using algorithms and pulling content from all over the web to create an amalgamation of the requested item or requested image. Most people can suss it out, like I said. But that being said, this is a hobby group. This is not only it's a hobby group, it's a local hobby group. And why this guy got his panties in a bunch about the use of AI in the Facebook group, it left me kind of flummoxed. I'm like, what? Why do you care? Like, somebody creates something for their own private campaign, let's say, or they're trying to get a group of people together to play for a one-time event, right? This is a free event. This isn't an event to make money, or in the case of JohnCon, it's an event that is to raise funds for charity, right? And I got a message from somebody after I shared it, but it wasn't on Facebook, it was on Discord. And somebody said, hey, it looks like you used AI to create the logo for JohnCon. You might want to think twice about that. And I'm like, I don't want to be a dick to the guy and say, piss off, it's none of your business. I'm not going to say that because I get the concern. People don't like the idea of AI taking over where traditional artists and traditional creators would create stuff. But in the case of JohnCon, in the case of like a private or a Facebook group, where it's just a bunch of hobbyists with similar interests getting together, the use of AI, I don't see as being terribly problematic. Maybe I'm wrong. You guys can correct me in the comments. But anyway, what I told this guy was like, look, it's for raising funds for charity. Frankly, I don't have money or a budget to hire a professional artist to design a good logo. And frankly, the priest likes the logo. He thinks it looks great, and he's happy that it's being used to promote the event. So I'm keeping it, But I'm just curious. What do you all think? Like, here's the thing. I see two distinctions. Okay, if you're a game producer or game creator or whatever, and you're making something that you're going to sell, and you sell it for the same price as somebody, or sold an equivalent product whereby they hired an actual artist to produce the art, the interior art, and you're using AI to produce your art, and you're saying, hey, they charged $40 for this book. They paid an artist to produce all the art of that book. My book is the same page count. My book has the same number of pieces of art, except I used a free AI service to create that art. I'm going to sell it for $40 also. There I see there being a problem. It's strange that, man-made art is now the premium, you know what I mean? Like, it's now a hallmark of good work versus computer-generated art. I have a feeling that this was the same shit that photographers were talking about back when Photoshop became all the rage. And people were using Photoshop to touch up their photos, right? Back in the day, you took a bad photo on, regular film, you had to physically airbrush it. You had to go in and fix it. And then, Photoshop things come along and they're using a computer to do it. A computer that can, automate a lot of it. I'm sure there were a lot of photographers and people and photo editors who thought that this was cheating kind of thing, right? But I don't think it lasted for long. I think eventually everybody got on board and started using Photoshop. Now, in terms of AI, do I think everybody's going to get on board and start using AI? Well, I think for a Facebook group where it's just a bunch of hobbyists, just a bunch of people who have a passion for D&D or whatever, getting together, I don't see a problem with using an AI image generator to promote, a community event or to promote a game event that you're not charging money for, let's say. But again, it's up to the consumer, it's up to the viewer, right? If you see somebody using AI art in their promotion of their material, and you have just a sort of uncompromising view of the use of AI in creative ventures, whereby you won't promote or you won't support anybody who uses AI in their artwork or in the promotion of their thing, that's on you. But to try and bully the administrator of a Facebook group that he's running it for the benefit of the community, and for you to be, quite frankly, a prig and say, I don't like this, therefore it shouldn't be up there, and nobody should be able to view it, and I'm going to shame anybody who does it. You're no different than the people who used to point their fingers at anybody who did something that they deemed immoral, right? They're called prigs, basically. But in any event, it's just my thought. I saw it and I'm like, that's kind of dumb. Like, who cares? Who cares if some guy uses AI art to promote his local game session at the local library? Who fucking cares? Seriously. Yeah. Not everybody is talented. Not everybody can make their own artwork, but they still want to have, an eye-catching graphic to bring it to the attention of possible players or possible interested parties. And you're like poo-pooing them using AI to do that for something that isn't commercial, that is for fellow hobbyists. And it just seems to me to be kind of, I don't know, HOA kind of activity. I'm the head of the homeowners association, and you can't have that on your lawn. We don't appreciate it on your lawn. You have to get rid of it. And you go in a Facebook group, say, hey, I'm a member of this group, and I don't think AI should be used on this Facebook group. Well, it's not your group. Well, if you're concerned about AI in gaming, then make a Facebook group. It costs nothing to make. That is, all about eschewing AI in gaming. I don't know. If you have people who are interested in that particular topic, maybe you can get a good group going about it. There are a number of Facebook groups for D&D that are specifically for people who don't want all the woke stuff in their games. You know, they're like grognards without all the neo-Marxist bullshit, stuff like that. You know, gamers without purple-haired trolls. So yeah. Anyway, it's kind of interesting. I've joined probably a dozen or so D&D groups, local D&D groups, in the last few months, just so I could promote JonCon. And by the way, tickets will be on sale very shortly. I'll make an announcement here once they are. I'm just working the last few details out with the accountant. And Trinity Parking. There you go. There she goes. Trinity has something to say. Speak up. Oh, really? Thanks, guys. Y'all take care. Bye-bye.